All right, we're back for another e-commerce review. Today we got ProDough Protein Bake Shop. We're going to go through their brand and their store, give some suggestions and tips. My name is Antonio Sundquist. I'm one of the co-founders of Active, and we've got my co-founder Daniel, as well as our designated customer Jeremy. Jeremy, take it away.
Yeah, so ProDough. I think my first impression is that it seems healthy, right? I mean, right off the bat, they're talking about zero added sugar, gluten-free, organic ingredients, all good stuff. I think I would like to. I mean, it's protein, so I guess I would like to just usually when I'm shopping for things and I'm looking for something maybe protein related, I just kind of want to know how much protein is in it right off the bat. That's like the first question kind of that I think of. So maybe just a personal preference, but it's kind of where I go with things. But it looks good. It looks really good. And I think that's the point they're trying to get across here is just how good it tastes. And oh yeah, there you go. So there's 28 grams of protein. See it kind of as you're scrolling through. But yeah, I think looks solid. I mean, for the most part, everything's, all the information is there. I think it's just like the order that I'm processing it. The protein thing is just the biggest thing for me. It's the number one thing I'm asking, right? Any type of protein supplement or product, how much is in there? So that's kind of, I guess, my takeaways. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah. Do you want to change it to looking at the desktop view? So like Jeremy said, the flow is good. I do think if I look at the headline, zero added sugar, gluten-free organic ingredients, if I'm searching for a product and I go on this page, we got some train background noise. I don't know if I would be too clear on what I'm getting. Like, yes, I see the muffin. I think that's supposed to be a muffin. Like, I honestly, when I look zero added sugar, gluten-free organic ingredients, I don't want to see that in the headline. I want to see what this is. Like, what is your product? Because unless you are Nike and everyone knows your brand and you know what you're going to find when you're landing on a store, you need to really share, like, top above the fold, be very clear on if it's a bunch of different products and it's across the board, that's different. But I believe this is specific to like protein dough for like protein to bake protein products. So I would rather have them be very specific on that, and it isn't there for me.
Yeah, I think the zero added sugar, gluten-free organic ingredients could be a sub-headline, sure. But I would agree. I think it needs to be more clear because, again, when we talk about this hero section, the first section being the first thing that people see when they land on the site, you want to be very direct and very clear about what the product is. Real quick, for ProDough, we pull up the mobile first because we love to see it. It's just a mobile optimized site because a lot of traffic in DTC, direct to consumer e-commerce is really coming from the phone. So very solid in terms of functionality and flow there. Kind of moving down the page a little bit.
Can I say one of the things I think too is the whole thing about these is a protein, right? It's like protein packed. So why don't you highlight that, in the customer journey? Because people aren't necessarily going to buy this product because it's gluten-free organic, right? Necessarily, right? Like maybe that's what they tested and found, but like truly people are likely going to buy because it's protein packed and it's delicious. It's also healthy, but it's mostly like that part of it, and it's in your name, ProDough. So I think it's making sure that people know, hey, it's a protein based bake shop, and if you can share that in the communication, that's going to go a long way.
Yeah, almost like flipping the value prop a little bit to lead the protein. So yeah, the flow looks like we got shop. One thing, if you have it It's always good to have PR shout outs. The PR logos, if you have it, I don't know if they do or not, but that's definitely a section that we like to see. And then also, you know, reviews. I know this is something that we always chat about, Daniel, with stores is got the reviews. I mean, flex the reviews. People like to see that social proof, and having that on the homepage could help.
Completely agree. I think having, when we look at the staples of really quality brands and their setup is, a strong above the fold headline where people understand what the brand is. The branding's great. You've got social proof with whether it be featured in testimonials and then a spot for specific reviews where if you go down to the products, it would be best to show how many reviews that they have and how many stars they have on the lower part. And right now, I think it's on the bottom of the of this, of that experience. Like that would be best. But that being said, as we're looking at the product pages, we're seeing that there isn't really reviews being shown, and to me, that could be that there's not like it's a new brand, so they're just getting started. That's fine. But if you have reviews, you should show them, even if you have one. Call your mom. Have them leave a review. I don't even care. Do whatever you need to do. Get some reviews on here because that's gonna really increase your conversion rate. I think the stats show 60 to 70% of people make a decision based off of reviews. And I think Amazon has shown how powerful this is, and this needs to be the case here. So that's one of the things that we saw on the product page that really needs some help.
Just from like a trustworthy standpoint too, just like as a customer, just feeling a sense of trust in the brand. Reviews and even just some UGC. I think that could go a long ways here too. Just from like just customer buying experience. I mean, no reviews is one thing, and then no UGC is another thing. And then, I guess now I'm thinking like, is it real? I don't know.
And also a video. You could add a video to your photo suite essentially with a video. That would go a long way to show how this works. They show it's really cool to see what's in it, but maybe even infographic type of photo that shows kind of how it works too. Either a video or infographic would go a long way.
Yeah, I think a product like this really lends well to a low-hanging fruit being like a how-to video or like a make this ingredient type or make this kind of use this in this way, and it's like someone doing step by step. That's, to me, that's a no-brainer. This product page does feel a little light to me. I think, could there be room for expansion down here?
Definitely. And that's the thing where like the great thing about a product mix like this is you don't have to do a lot. People come and they're like, whoa, I have to build these product pages. No, you can build a template that's easily that you can duplicate to all the other products. And then you have a really strong suite, and the copy can be very similar of that. And they also don't have an upsell option, which is one of the things that we always recommend to brands to make sure that they implement.
Why is that upsell so important?
Especially when you're running ads, which they are running ads. One of the things that you're going to see is if your CPA or your cost per acquisition is fairly high and somebody's buying a $21 product, you may just break even on that. But if you had an offer for them to add a second box or a third box and you increase your average cart value by 40% or 50%, you're going to start off profitable instead of being like, shoot, I'm not even going to start off profitable and it's not going to help you at all. So I think that's one of the ways that it really helps. It helps you increase your return on ad spend. It helps you increase your average cart value. And there's just not a reason why you shouldn't be suggesting additional things. Going back to Amazon, they know what works. You always have recommended products every single time, and they do it for a reason because it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks like this is the only bundle they have at the moment. Um, Something to think about as well. Could you mix and match some of this stuff? Probably.
Let's don't. So, yeah, and I think when you're looking at that, that's another thing. Like, okay, what does it look like? What are people buying more of together? How can we bundle things or think the logical offers? Because somebody who buys a keto muffin mix may also buy the donut, you know, muffin mix as well, or the donut mix as well. So it just, you kind of have to look and see what the customers are doing, and then think about that journey and the buyer journey to make sure that they're getting what they want.
Well, moving to their ads. So they are running ads. Looks like, yeah, again, some infographics, a lot of static images. So this, oops. Okay, so we got like a lifestyle, very simple text on screen.
It's pretty good. It's
Um,
really great. Like their creative is insanely good.
Better than,
Like, but I can imagine, like, if you're running ads and you're getting good results, how disappointing is it for the company, the brand, to get people to that Shopify store and not convert as many people as they could? And this is like the ads are great, and I don't know how they're structuring their ads, but in terms of the overall look of it, it's actually really good. It's pretty amazing.
yeah, I think, yeah, these products videos are phenomenal. Okay, they're running a decent amount.
It looks like their main creative is that one video. Is that correct? If you click on the bottom, pretty much everyone is pretty much the same, right?
Yeah,
It's like either the carousel or the, if you click on one of the protein bake shop videos, same things.
all these guys. Yep.
Same.
Yeah, so it looks like they're all kind of.
And do they have any user generated content?
It doesn't look like it. So that's a big thing. I mean, we talk about user generated content. Where the world is going is a lot of people are getting a little bit of ad fatigue from the high production stuff. And of course, there's a place for it, but when we think about where the world is going, we like to see native content. And by native, I mean things that are like, it's like you're scrolling through your feed and it could be an ad, but it doesn't look like an ad. It looks like someone shot it on their phone and it's from a quote unquote normal human being. That stuff just performs really well. And I think with a product like this, you could totally do a lot of that. Just get someone in their kitchen, making one of these recipes. It wouldn't be that hard, I don't think. Nice. Overall, if we were to give these guys a grade, what do we got?
Yeah, I'll lead it off. I think these guys are just gonna get like a 7.5 from me. I think the hero section at the top, kind of like we touched on, could be a little bit stronger, and just some of the reviews, UGC, a lot of opportunities there. The branding, in terms of just kind of what we were just talking about, it looks great. I mean, it looks like it tastes really, really good. But just maybe being a little bit more clear about protein content and some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would also give it a harder grade, because I would give it like 7.3. The biggest reason is it has a branding, it has a product, but the execution on some of the things, like the testing of different creative and the testing of getting reviews in and making sure that reviews are strong and they upsell, like some of the things that when you look at the list of things that best practices, some of them they aren't doing, and they're probably leaving a lot of money on the table. And I think that would be something that I would say, like, hey, if you're doing this yourself, you're doing a good job. This is amazing. Like, a lot of people couldn't get here. but what does it look like to work with somebody to help you get you further? Or, we can provide that list of things that you should be doing. And these are the only things we can see. There's a lot of the things we probably, would go in and find out that's maybe not being done right or well. And that's one of the things that I would say that could get them a higher grade doing those things well.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I'd give them a 7.4 for a lot of those same reasons. I think, they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and this is kind of why we exist, right? Like we find that there's a lot of founders and e-commerce companies out there that they take it so far, but they, have done all that hard work, but then they are still missing some of the foundational elements that in our eyes are really important. We have checklists for these things and we have different things that we can provide, but I think with these guys, they're so close, and there's just a few tweaks, whether it's just headline or bundling different products, getting those reviews, testing some UGC, that could really get them over the finish line. So ProDough, not sure if you're working with a partner right now, but this is something that we love doing. So if you are looking for that, definitely don't hesitate to reach out.